All right, crypto guy covering traditional finance. This is SPX. And again, if you're watching the recording of this, I'm doing this during live stream, but if you're watching the recording and you're new to my channel, you can tell right off the bat that you're not going to see, you probably haven't seen a chart like this on SPX from your traditional sources, traditional finance sources. And it helps make muddier waters a little clearer. And because I'm showing you something that's new to you and works, that's the time to go ahead and hit subscribe, because I do, as a crypto person, I do cover a decent amount of traditional finance, and really traditional finance, Dixie, all that dominates about at least a quarter of all my Discord and community gatherings here. So now that we've zoomed out, you know what we're working with. It's a trading channel, right? That goes to the very top of all-time highs for the stock market. Price right now is interacting near the top of it. I'm going to zoom into the, let's say, 5-minute candles. And we have one horizontal. So we have channel lines, which obviously are working pretty well, right? Support for pullbacks, resistance for the pumps. These lines have been here for months. So they're real, right? Even though you won't probably see them anywhere else set up like this. First observation, I'm going to put two observations together that are contrary, they're opposites. This smells like a fake out to me. However, looking at it this way, without that in mind, it's still in a very nice uptrend. And to get to the top of the trading channel, now that it's in an aggressive uptrend with very healthy looking pullbacks, it has an entire 3.33% run before a lot of sellers are invited, which means converting current bulls to sellers, right? Or turning sellers into sideliners, taking away buy pressure, or just having sellers step in harder. That's a lot of racing room until many groups of people are going to become sellers for different reasons, but all roughly at the same time. To me, this looks like a fake out, but I can't deny both the wiggle room that it has to the upside, plus it's in a nice uptrend. So with those contrarian observations, my analysis for this would be, when do my probabilities flip strongly? So a probability pivot. When does it favor strongly one or the other? And that's all you can do. Because this looks like a damn fake out. It's going to come down from here, but everything else says it still has plenty of room to run. So the way I would approach this is here. SPX breaking below $38.40. The chance for upside movement or breaking or taking out this high and continuing the rally, I think this is roughly the 50-50 threshold. But after it crosses this threshold, the probabilities of this being hit do not plummet too quickly, because from here to here, it's under 50% of that being hit, in my opinion, but it's not much under 50%. So you have a larger shade of gray where you kind of have an improbability zone. You still can't quite tell. You have a small edge, but not a big one, because immediately below this, I think this is a weekly horizontal, is the weekly 10 EMA, which gets a lot of action on the price of anything or any asset. And as it comes down here, as SPX comes down here, it takes some time. By that time, if the weekly 10 is here already, then you can forget what I'm saying, right? But if it happens soon and the weekly 10 is still not at 38.40, then you have a shade of gray where the probabilities are in flux around close to 50-50. Does that make sense? However, if we're fortunate enough to both get downside movement and it happens when the weekly 10 is either at or above this level, then really you have an extremely clear probability pivot point. And it kind of looks like it will, price won't go below here until the weekly 10. Because multiple groups of different types of traders are going to be seeing, having the same, thought for different reasons at the same level, same time. EMA traders see this, if price goes below the weekly 10, okay, bearish. EMA people, bearish. Horizontal people, comes below here, bearish, right? But if this happens soon, just realize that the probabilities do not get great immediately. So watch out for that. If we have a big down, especially during FOMC, it could easily come down. Hell, FOMC, it could come all the way down to here and still be bullish, because price just whips around with volatility for the sake of volatility only. And to grab positions that market makers are wanting anyway. Drive price down into their longs, or conversely, drive price up into their shorts before taking spot price the other way. Okay, that's to the downside. We have 3 key points. For Wednesday, all 3 of these points. A, the horizontal, B, the weekly 10, and C, only on Wednesday. Outside of Wednesday, this is not a clear point. But FOMC could easily have price come down to here, okay, and still bounce, and probabilities are still okay to the upside. On Thursday, though, let's say by Thursday, the weekly 10 is already up here, then price goes below it. I think your probabilities automatically pivot, and any rally up, you would be expecting a lower high. Most likely, at something obvious like this channel line right here, could go as high as this, or something more obvious to other groups of people, probably hell. It could just be a lower high. If it breaks down to here, comes up to here, it could get rejected from this point. But after Wednesday, if 3840 is broken, I would be on lower high watch after that, because I think the probability's pivoted. Right now, I think the probabilities are favoring more upside movement, and this is exactly when they change. When you have a flood, so you're going to have a flood of buyers in this triangle right here to the upside. You have this horizontal with this channel line. So you could have the SPX get stuck in here for quite a while. And remember, in crypto, the last 2 triangles we looked at that I anticipated were going to happen, both happened and price stayed in it, right? Kadena and Flux. So maybe I'll go 3 for 3, but honestly, on this one, this isn't my main guess, but it could happen. So when your probabilities flood heavily to the upside in terms of, hey, I can trade this direction for more than 5 days, more than 2 days at a time, is I wouldn't get too excited necessarily at the channel line, because you have immediate resistance ahead, which could invite sellers, and it breaks down below. So I would have my main upside, threshold of, hey, I can trade moderately safely with a good edge when it crosses 3,900. Does that make sense? But this triangle, the importance of it is don't be too excited if price breaks above this channel line, when typically you would be, but you have this right above, so therefore view it as a triangle. And the benefit of viewing it as a triangle is it helps you anticipate when the bulls and bears get into a battle that neither wins. Well, what does price do? It goes sideways. And oftentimes it forms a triangle. So the benefit of that is it helps you anticipate potential sideways movement where trading is not quite as beneficial, because the moves aren't quite as big. And really, that's it. So if it can break up above 3,900 even, then, price really should race up to the top of the channel line, which is descending. So the longer it takes to get there, the lower the number, right? So if it takes, until November 9th, that's 3,967. If it does it sooner than later, that's, almost 4,000, right? Because it's a descending line. And to the downside, a break below, what was it? 3840. With the assumption the weekly 10 is already here at that time. If it happens, if it's already there, then you have fairly immediate support. You would expect some type of bounce here, but you would be on lower high watch and then have lower targets after that. If it happens tomorrow on Wednesday, just realize the SPX will probably end up close to where it began before the volatility started. So I would not I would not allow these thresholds being broken on Wednesday during November 2nd to be thresholds to trade, with confidence in that direction the rest of the week. All right. And that's SPX for